persuasive speaker board game based on the game Clue. Are you tired of boring old board games that lose their charm after the first few rounds? If you are sick of lackluster family game nights that you dread playing the same games over and over, you can bring the fun to your next family game night with a game that is fun, educational, and guaranteed to keep the whole family involved.
Too often, the classic family game night runs stale because of dull board games that lack educational substance. Lucky for you, we have a solution to this problem.
This game gives players the opportunity to have fun and learn more about famous persuasive speakers in one of their speeches. It includes cards of each speaker, interesting facts, and where the speech is happening.
The objective of the game is to discover who gave the speech, where it was given, and what it was about.
Players will take turns rolling a die, moving their token, and asking a question, and marking off on their clue sheet.
Players can move their token horizontally, vertically, forward, or backwards, but not diagonally. They can't enter the same square twice in a turn, or land on a square already occupied by another player.
Players can ask a clue question and receive an answer.
Players can suggest by saying, "I suggest," followed by a speaker, speech, and a place. The player to the left must check their cards for a match.
Players can make an accusation when they think they know the three cards in the envelope. They say, "I accuse the speaker of giving the speech in the place."
The youngest always goes first, and then the gameplay continues clockwise.
Let's hear about some of our speakers. The famous persuasive speech I focused on was "Ain't I a Woman" by Sojourner Truth. This speech was held in Akron, Ohio at the Universalist Stone Church in 1851, which has since been demolished. During a 2-day-long women's rights convention, Truth spoke about the importance of fighting for equal rights based on gender and race. The quote showcased on the board game shows the argument for why women should have been seen as equal to men and how even when her children got sold to slavery, no one cared. She took an emotional approach to her speech which allowed for the audience to understand her pain and struggles as a Black woman in the mid-1800s.
The famous speaker I chose for this game was Martin Luther King and his famous speech, "I Have a Dream." This speech took place at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and this was a very symbolic speech for the civil rights movement in 1954. He made his speech on the dream he had for the future of America. He talked about how he saw a future where everyone was treated equally. He made the speech to inspire and encourage people to keep fighting and fight for equal rights for all people. He strived for a future where people are seen based on the skills they have and not the color of their skin. The speech convinced people to keep fighting until justice was served and got people to join the movement.
The speech that I decided to focus on was Benares' speech by Mahatma Gandhi. He presented this speech at Benares Hindu University, and he presented this speech to the Indian elite during a time of shifting ideas on what sovereignty and self-government would look like for the country. He advocated in favor of Indian nationalism, while also recognizing a strong need for it to better reflect the working class, those who made up the majority of the population of India. Furthermore, Gandhi was one of the first to advocate against Anglo-centricity, pointing out that the speech in which he was giving was not in his native tongue, but rather the language of the British Empire ruling over India.
The speaker that I chose was Eleanor Roosevelt. Her speech was the struggle for human rights. It was located in La Sorbonne in Paris, France in 1948. Eleanor Roosevelt gave this speech to try and start a draft of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. She wanted the nations to unite to provide human rights for all and support the idea of countries working together to solve worldwide problems.
The speaker I focused on was Abraham Lincoln with the Gettysburg Address. In a dedication ceremony for the Union soldiers who died in the Battle of Gettysburg, Lincoln seeks to deliver the meaning to the Civil War effort while paying his respects to those who have fallen. In his brief address, he recalls the notions of equality and freedom asserted in the Declaration of Independence, and defines the war as an effort not only for the Union, but for the entire nation in its entirety.
Some additional locations that were included in the game were the National Constitution Center, in which Barack Obama gave his famous "A Union More Perfect" speech, Rice University Field, where John F. Kennedy gave the Moon speech, and the Rivonia trial in South Africa, where Nelson Mandela gave his famous "I Am Prepared to Die" speech.
Play the game, cure your boredom, and learn new things.
Are you tired of boring old game nights that lose? Oh my god. Are you tired of boring old game night? Oh my god.
She took an emotional.
Oh no.
Okay, wait, no, I got it. Hold on.
Play the game, hear your bro.